I know. A lot of you have been asking me, when in the heck are we getting back into Arc Raiders? And I have an answer. And in fact, I bet you have an answer too as to when I think the game is going to have its next big explosion, because I think it is quite possible that on some of the dates we're going to talk about today, that we are going to see player numbers peak once again in this game. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, it all has to do with the expedition projects, which they have detailed in full here as of yesterday, December 6th. They put this out. They said, time to start a new adventure. Why did you become a raider? Perhaps Speranza has always been too small for you. Maybe it's the thrill of danger, the feel of fresh air on your skin, or the promise of wealth that's only available topside. Whatever your reason, all raiders share one thing in common: the spirit of adventure. Now, the expedition project. So this is something that I completed right away, very early on. I just wanted to be done it. And basically it's going to ask you for very specific items around Speranza, or sorry, not Speranza, but around topside. And then at the very end is just going to ask you to essentially give all of your gear, or a good portion of your gear, to send to the next location. Now it says this: the expedition hit a minor delay and the window will now open on the 17th of December. I believe it was supposed to close then, but I could be wrong about that. You will have a 6-day period in which your raider can choose to leave the Rust Belt for good by departing in the caravan you have constructed in the expedition project. You will restart your journey with certain buffs and advantages. We want to take you through some of these here. So finally we get to hear what these buffs and advantages actually are. Now, it sounds to me, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong here and they might correct me later down, but it sounds as though between, I think it's 5 days, so they said, sorry, 6 days. So between the 17th and the 23rd, that is when you'll have the window when you can do the expedition, when you can do the reset. And if you don't do it during that time, you're stuck until the next expedition, which we don't know what the name of that is yet. So you're leaving Speranza. When the expedition departs, all items in your raider stash will be contributed towards it. Your next raider can earn up to 5 skill points based on the total value of your stash and coins at the time of departure. So not what you gave to the expedition project, but what you have in your stash. 1 million coins worth of value equals 1 extra skill point for your raider. So in other words, if you don't have $1 million, if you don't have $1 million worth of stuff, you won't get any skill points. So if you don't have $5 million total, you're gonna want to start grinding. When you restart, everything tied to your progression will be reset. This means your skill tree, level, stash, workshop, crafting abilities, and blueprints. It's worth noting that the initial onboarding from your first deployment in Speranza will be skipped. So in other words, that little scene where you go out and you have to shoot the guy on the roof and then you go in and then you get capped, that will be skipped. That means all maps and potential workshop upgrades will be available as soon as you reset. So as soon as you get into the game, your raider won't totally restart by square one. By resetting, you will unlock the following advantages and rewards: an outfit, the patchwork outfit, Scrappy's janitor cap, expedition indicator icon. So these are all cosmetics. Skill points, depending on your stash value. So up to 5 skill points, and plus 12 stash space. Temporary buffs, you have 10% repair buff, 5% XP boost, and 6% more materials from Scrappy. So nothing game breaking or crazy or anything like that. But those are the things that you actually get. I think especially for turning in all your blueprints, I think it should be a little bit more, but while skill points, extra stash space, and cosmetics are permanent unlocks, your account buffs will expire if you choose not to depart with the subsequent expedition. So what this tells me is that these buffs right here, the temporary buffs, those will be consistent every single season. We'll call it every single expedition. So in other words, if you want to have those every single season, you need to do the expedition every single season. Bear in mind, buffs will increase in power for your next 3 expeditions, but only 1 departure allowed per expedition window. So these buffs will actually, if you do 3 in a row, it'll go up each time, probably by the percentage. So maybe 5, 10, 15, 10, 20, 30, and 6, 12, 18, maybe for Scrappy. I don't know. Remember, the expedition window will be open from February. Jesus, where did I get that? It's the 17th of December and lasts until the 22nd of December. You must sign up during this period and everyone automatically departs at the same time. Okay, so there answers the thing that I was asking before. So it doesn't happen until the 22nd. So we don't depart until the 22nd whatsoever. So just between the 17th and the 22nd, you have to accept the departure, and then on the 22nd, you will actually depart. There's our answer. Everyone does it at the same time, so the reset is global. Now, the value of your stash coins will be counted when the window closes, so don't stop looting before then. If you choose not to depart this time around, don't worry, your progress towards your caravan will be preserved, so you can keep working on it until the next window opens. Now, here's what I am curious about. A couple little things here. As you can see, this timeline kind of tells you what's going on. So from the 30th of October to the December to 16th, that is when you can caravan construction and supply phase. Then you have the expedition window, in other words, when you can accept it. And then the 22nd when it actually departs. Also, did they not say 6 days? Maybe it's the full day, the 17th, the full day of the 22nd. Okay, that actually makes sense. Why are we doing it like this? Progression wipes are a notoriously difficult thing to balance in online multiplayer games. We get that. Mandatory global wipes have been an obvious benefit. Basically, they're doing it so you have the option. I don't think we need to read through all of that. So here are the questions that I have with this moving forward. And I don't think we've had an answer for this. I don't think I've seen them talk about it. And that is, what is the next expedition going to look like? See, right now, this one is called the Expedition Project. Is it going to be exactly the same? Is it going to look like this? Will you have a different quest tree if you do the expedition than if you don't? It doesn't sound like you will. It sounds like all of the quests will be very similar to what we had before, but they'll add a couple at the end. We also don't know what new maps they're adding in as of the 22nd, because I'm guessing there's got to be a new map or something coming then. We know the cold snap is coming, which could have, I actually don't know. Have they said when that happens? I don't think they have. No, they haven't, unless it happened on the 27th, but I don't think it did. Again, I haven't hopped on for a while. I've been kind of waiting for this expedition. So I don't know when the cold snap actually happens, which is going to give you the winterized versions of the maps. But I'm guessing with a new expedition, I'm guessing we're going to get new missions, probably new items, probably new map. But again, none of that is confirmed. I would just assume if I was making the game, that's kind of what I would do. So none of that is confirmed as of right now, but in case you were wondering, in case you want to know when to get online, it's kind of interesting because I'm guessing Embark is going to go on Christmas break right when this happens. So the expedition is going to happen and then it's Christmas. It's time to grind. It's grind time, baby. And we'll be back. I'll probably be streaming either the 22nd or the 23rd, depending on time periods. We'll be playing the new expedition, running through all the missions, just like we did before. And I'm curious because really when it comes down to it, after all of this, Ark, it's been a social experiment. It's very clearly been a social experiment. And with that, they have created a community around it, and the solo community has been very forgiving, helping each other out, being there for each other. But with a new season, I'm curious whether everyone hops on the same side once again, or whether people start turning on each other, or if people who don't do the expedition are PvPing, or how that's going to work, what the dichotomy of that social experiment is going to be moving forward. But for now, that's what we know. As we get more information, I'll keep you guys updated. I just wanted to kind of tone in and let you know that the Ark stuff is not going anywhere. The other thing that I'm going to be looking forward to is I have a piece of an Ark Raiders story video put together with the Stella Montis map, with the extra missions that we got there, and hopefully a new map and a new expedition will give us a little bit more story that I can build to right around Christmas. But yeah, that's what we know for now. If you want to see more Ark content, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're like me, everyone's loving this game.